On Wednesday, August 14, a powerful storm wreaked havoc on some of Spain's most popular vacation destinations, transforming what had been a sweltering heat wave into a series of violent and destructive storms. The Balearic Highlands, renowned for their serene beaches and bustling tourism, were particularly hard hit, with the storm lashing areas like Mallorca, Ibiza, and Formentera with torrential rain and fierce winds. What began as a typical summer day quickly turned into a nightmare as streets were flooded, homes and hotels were submerged, and infrastructure was severely damaged. In a matter of minutes, water levels began to rise alarmingly, forcing the evacuation of hundreds of residents and tourists from the most affected areas. Local authorities responded by declaring a state of emergency, urgently advising everyone to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. The situation was particularly dire in Formentera, where the storm's intensity was captured in numerous social media posts. Videos showed more than a dozen boats stranded, with many vessels, including large sailboats, torn from their moorings and wrecked against the rocky coastline. The destruction along Formentera's coast was catastrophic, as powerful waves battered the shoreline and left the island isolated from the mainland and neighboring islands when the Port Authority of the Balearic Islands made the difficult decision to close the port to all maritime traffic. This unprecedented move raised serious concerns about the island's ability to receive essential supplies and emergency assistance. The storm's impact was also felt across Ibiza, a destination known for its vibrant resorts and nightlife. As the storm hit, many tourists found themselves trapped in the hotels, unable to venture out as water levels climbed to 1.5 meters in some areas. The damage was widespread, with authorities estimating that the financial costs could run into millions of euros. Roads were rendered impassable, transport links were severely disrupted, and several hospitals in Palma, the capital of Mallorca, experienced flooding, forcing emergency relocations of patients to safer areas. The scale of the disaster required emergency services to work around the clock, evacuating people from flood zones and setting up temporary shelters for those displaced by the storm. Meanwhile, the storm continued its destructive path along the Catalan coast, impacting cities such as Barcelona and Tarragona. Storm surges demolished coastal infrastructure, including piers and embankments, and widespread power outages left many areas in darkness. The disruption extended to Valencia, where in the town of Ontinyent, heavy rainfall led to partial collapse of a supermarket roof, causing panic and prompting the evacuation of around 300 people. In Madrid, the ferocity of the storm was evident as the stairs leading into Canal Station under the city's metro line were transformed into a cascading river, with torrents of water flooding the station. San Antonio, a town in Ibiza, faced its own challenges as overflowing gutters mixed with storm water and waste, creating unsanitary conditions that forced residents and tourists to navigate flooded streets filled with hazardous materials. The province of Murica and Alicante were also not spared as flash floods swept through their streets, carrying cars away in a dramatic display of nature's power, catching many by surprise. The aftermath of these extreme weather events has left both residents and tourists struggling to cope with the sudden and severe environmental changes. Authorities have issued urgent advisories, stressing the need for continued vigilance as the region braces for the possibility of further rainfall and storms. Rescue operations are ongoing, with emergency services working tirelessly to provide assistance to those affected and to begin the extensive repairs and restoration work needed to bring the affected areas back to normal. Environmental concerns are growing as well, with experts warning that the storm has caused significant soil erosion and pollution of coastal waters, which could have long-lasting effects on local ecosystems. The recovery process is expected to take years, and there is increasing concern that such extreme weather events could become more frequent due to climate change. The community, however, has shown remarkable solidarity, with residents, tourists, and charities coming together to support those who have lost homes, businesses, and personal belongings in the disaster. As the region moves forward, authorities are calling for unity and resilience in the face of these challenges, emphasizing the importance of being prepared for the unpredictability of nature. This devastating storm has served as a stark reminder of the powerful forces of nature and the need for vigilance, preparedness, and collective action to mitigate the impacts of such disasters in the future.